As an artist, if I had to describe how I want my art to feel, I would use three words: interpretative, complex, aligned. And as a viewer, aesthetic, pleasant, and delightful. Rightfully, in today's painting session, we'll talk about artistic identity. Hey guys, welcome back to my painting channel. If it's your first time here, make sure that you subscribe. First of all, let me present you today's painting project. This is a self-portrait, and here we have the sketch set on a canvas roll piece and fixed on an antique mirror frame. You can check my shorts to see the process. As you can see, I've already underpainted my canvas. This is the first time I used the underpainting method on a portrait, and I don't necessarily appreciate it. For those who don't know, underpainting is a painting method that consists of setting a first layer with a unique undertone before starting painting the subject. It's supposed to help the visual acuity of the artist, help to have repairs and basically get rid of that white canvas anxiety, while by the same occasion reinforce the adherence of other layers to the canvas. Explained like this, it seems to have a lot of benefits and pros, but personally I don't feel at ease with that. I feel like I messed a big time and I'm going to have to repair this while painting. But it's okay, because at the end of the day, being an artist means experimenting, taking risks, and play with creativity. So to dive into today's topic, which is my artistic identity, I want to establish that I categorize myself as a surrealism artist, which means that most of my artworks are based on the trends and codes of the surrealism art movement. Now, what is surrealism? According to Google definition, surrealism is an art and cultural movement that developed in Europe in the aftermath of World War I, in which artists aimed to allow the unconscious mind to express itself, often resulting in the depiction of illogical or dreamlike scenes and ideas. Basically, in opposition with realism, surrealism is an art movement where reality norms does not exist, which means you're allowed to break classical patterns and explore creative freedom. And I found that amazing. When you think of surrealism art, you think of the Dolly Melting Clock, or The Angel of the Home by Max Ernst, or again the Pomegranate painted by Dolly, because it was the GOAT. I was always in quest of freedom and non-conformity in my art, so naturally surrealism was the art movement that appealed the most to me. But it did not happen at once. I did not wake up in the morning and started painting surrealism art. It was a process, an evolution, and a growth that shaped my artistic identity into this direction. When I first started painting back in 2020, I used to use references such as landscape pictures or people pictures for portraits. I was watching a lot of tutorials such as the Bob Ross videos, so I was basically replicating what I was seeing in these lessons. There was not yet a strong identity in my painting, whether it was shapes, the color palette, or the creative idea behind it. I was basically still in training mode. At some point, I started going to museum and exhibition to discover pieces of art that would inspire me. A lot of the artworks you see in museum are inspired from the Renaissance, and I started to think that it was what good art was supposed to look like. I was trying to replicate this Renaissance universe into my paintings. One of my favorite Renaissance painting is The Fallen Angel by Alexander Carbonell. And I remember at the time I tried to steal this atmosphere and include it in one of my paintings, which I named The Black Venus. Now when I look at this painting, something feels off to me, and it's because it was not the proper idea of mine. I just got inspired by something else and by the classical codes of Renaissance art. That's also why I'm going to start a new painting over it with a whole different sense, and of course with a stronger identity and new skills that will make it feel more personal so I can be proud of it. Now stay with me. To this day, I am still inspired by classical artists such as Maurice Denis or Dali, like I said before. The difference is I don't try to copy paste the feeling or the atmosphere anymore. I might use some of their techniques to manifest my own vision. Now coming back to our painting, here I am trying to set the shadows and the highlights as a first layer so I can have repairs for the rest of my painting. As you can see, I'm fighting for my life, and it's because I did underpainting. When I'm starting to feel stuck, I like to change the area where I am painting so I can breathe and have a better clarity about what is missing in the previous part. So I'm gonna start setting shadows on the chest and the shoulders too. I promise you, past this stage, it does get better. So stay with me. Back to the things that shaped the development of my artistic identity. I think that it was really the fact that I decided to host my first solo exhibition. I had to showcase original art that will feel personal but will also connect with my audience. So I remember I decided to create a series of different type of paintings: abstract paintings, impressionism paintings, surrealism paintings, landscapes. I've basically touched to every art movement. I don't have actual pictures of the artworks left because some of them sold after the exhibition and some of them stayed back in Ivory Coast because I hosted my exhibition in Ivory Coast. But basically after that experience, I had a better vision of what I was good at, of what I liked to paint, and what I will focus on for my next artworks. And it definitely showed because look at these paintings. These are all paintings I've made after that exhibition, and see how they are different compared to this one I had made when I was getting inspired from classical Renaissance art that was not mine. And I reached this level of identity by really implementing what I was into my artworks. Let me explain. I am a nerd. First of all, I am an art nerd, but I'm a nerd for a lot of things too. I am into history, mythology, religion, philosophy. I love culture, nature, a bit of science, psychology, and more recently, fashion. I'm basically interested in a lot of esoteric things, and this has really been the core of my inspiration and my artistic identity. In my next video, I will break you down the meaning of my biggest and favorite paintings so you can understand how I use these themes in my paintings. Otherwise, the video is going to be too long. But I'll give you an example of how fashion has become a huge part of my inspiration for my art. If you follow me on Instagram, on YouTube, or even on TikTok, first of all, if you don't follow me, what are you even doing? I leave you my social on the screen. You can follow me on every platform at Pure Pinterest at Maurice Art. So if you follow me on YouTube at least and you've seen my shorts, you've probably seen my original design art inspired from famous fashion brands such as Prada or Vivienne Westwood. In my previous video, I've already explained the Prada inspiration. It's from Gossip Girl. And after that, I thought it would be interesting to make the same type of paintings for brands that I like and I support, because I love me a Vivienne Westwood. I actually have a necklace and I recently ordered a ring. And for me, it made sense to have a painting related to it in my room. Actually, it's for my room because it is part of my interests and it feels very elegant and very elevated. After this painting, I got a new inspiration for original design art related to fashion, and this time it's going to be a Vogue painting. And this is a prime example of how fashion influenced me in making good art. I see it, I like it, I want it, and I got it. To sum up all of this, my artistic identity has been built by the combination of my multiple interests. If I take our current project as an example too, these are the things that inspired me. Myself, obviously because it is a self-portrait, but in the references I used, there is the wedding dress and the necklace that are from Vivienne Westwood bridal collection. The ring that is actually in my wish list right now. It's not really obvious on the sketch, but the setup is in a church. And a little spoiler for the background people, I might use references of my family and friends. I hope these examples helped you understand more my artistic identity. Now we're heading to the end of this video. I made a little progress on the facial features, but we're still very much in the messy stage of the painting. Bear with me while I am locking in. For the moment, I'll leave you with updates. Hi everybody, wait a minute. We have brand new updates on our website and I'm going to break it down for those of you who didn't visit it recently. Starting from our Instagram bio, you're going to click on the link. It leads you directly to the homepage. There you can see we've added a video of our original designed art. So it directly catches the eyes of the visitors and gives a taste of our product. Then we have a teaser of our next design inspo. I don't know if you guys can guess, but I think it's pretty obvious. As you can see, Vogue has entered our inspiration collection, and I think we don't need to present you anymore the Vivienne Westwood original design art. At the basis, it was a unique size, the 80 by 80 centimeter one, for a minimum price of $450. Now we've added a smaller size, the one that shows up in the photos, and this is an 40 by 60 centimeter canvas for the price of $250 minimum. And there's option to add city names. If you don't want to see the name, there's an option for that too. That does not appear on the screen yet. Back to the Vogue inspiration product page. We don't have a picture yet, but it's definitely coming soon. This one will be a 30 by 90 centimeter canvas, basically a long rectangular shaped canvas. Back to the home page, we have news in our content section. We're getting active on YouTube with our first long format video aired at the beginning of the month. The second one is scheduled to air by the first Sunday of May, so you can catch up on the first one by clicking the link at the bottom of the page and you land directly on our YouTube channel. There you have all the videos and shorts we've made. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and drop a like and even a comment on the video. Thanks for watching. Bye!